Hi everyone, and welcome back to Vector Lab. Today we're going to show you a quick demo of the new OpenAI Evals features. We're going to show those new features like annotations, graders, and then use the prompt optimizer that we can see here to optimize to automate the optimization process of a prompt. In the previous video, we took the time to show all the functionalities of Evals and how to do it programmatically. So you can check it out for more info.
Amazing. So what do we have here?
So we're going to create a data set, and I'm going to follow the example of the OpenAI documentation, which is following what we would do with an IT support bot. And so here I'm going to call it IT support bot, and I'm going to upload the data set that I created. So it's the same data set that we used in our previous video. It's mock data that I created using ChatGPT, where we have some IT tickets. So for example, here the printer is not working. Here someone reported a suspicious email, etc., etc. And the goal is to classify those tickets in 3 categories. So either hardware, software, or other.
Amazing.
So here I'm going to add a prompt, unmuting. So here I'm going to add a prompt. You are an expert in categorizing IT support tickets. So given the support ticket, categorize the requests into one of those categories. Okay. And then we can reference these inputs as variable because I want the model to loop over each ticket that we have here. All right. So let me save that prompt. So I'm going to say prompt 1, not very creative. It's a prompt that's published. Okay. And so now let's generate some outputs. And so here I'm going to use this model to loop over each of the tickets and then create those outputs. And what I can do now, that one of the new features that we have is that I can add new columns. So for example, I could add a rating column, and this is useful in case you have SMEs and you want them to come and look at some of the responses and, see if they're correct or not. They can come here. And so, for example, here, the printer is not working. It's been classified as hardware. This is consistent with the correct label, which is our ground truth. So, for example, the SME could come here and click the thumbs up. And so that's one.
Sorry, Lara. So for the SME is gonna log in into this same website, let's say interface.
Exactly. They're going to log in here and do this. So that's one way to add to grade. You can add a label. You can also add feedback, for example. Let's add this. So the SME could also come in and here say correct, or for example, if it's not correct, they could put something else.
Gotcha. So it's
Right.
like I'm rating good or bad, but then I'm explaining what the reasoning behind.
Exactly. I can add a grader. And so, for example, here I could just say score this column. I could also do some comparison. And so here I could also go into model labeler. So you can do a simple string check where you check that there is an exact string match between my ground truth versus my generated response that I want to evaluate. Can go for a simple grader and categorize and assign a score. Here, I'm not sure that a score would make sense. So you can, like, for example, here, maybe model labeler is best. And then I could go into custom grader. And here I prepare this example instructions.
So
Right.
here then is where you can build all your business logic to be scored.
Yes, and especially this is LLM as a judge, so that you can score that with the help of an LLM. I think when working with Gen AI, so as we've said times and times again in our videos, evals are super important. You want to evaluate your baseline and then iterate, and make some improvements towards your North Star, which is your KPIs, your business KPIs and your technical KPIs. The thing is, you can have SMEs come in and review your traces, but it's not really scalable to hire an army of SMEs that come and review every single response, especially when you have thousands, if not hundreds of thousands. It's still very useful to have SMEs come in, because what I love to say is to customers is, especially at the beginning, it's good to get a sense of your data, get a feel for it, and get a feel for how your MVP is doing. And I think human reviewing is still really crucial. So it's good to have SMEs come in and look at a sample. It could be 100 or even 50. Get a sense of how it's performing. But then once you get a sense of how it's performing, that's when you can utilize LLM as a judge or custom grader, as we see here, to then automate how it's being reviewed. And so that's what we're doing here. And so
Amazing.
once I saved it, then it's run. And so here you can see the LLM as a judge reviewing. So far, so good. And so that's what we have here. And I can see for every result, whether they passed or not, and filter, only on what failed, etc., etc. So now, based on this, what I could do some prompt engineering to fix like what we see is failing a bit.
So based on this custom grader, then we try to tune it and optimize for the grader.
Yes. So I
Okay.
could try different prompts here. I could try that manually. So, for example, add a new prompt and, test against a new prompt. But what was released now is this optimize button where I click on optimize. And so here it's going to take into account the correct labels, etc. But it's going to take into account all of the ratings, all of the feedback, and all of the custom graders from your LLM judges, if there are any. And based on that, it's going to rewrite the prompt automatically for you.
Right.
Already ran one beforehand, so you could see that the first version, I had a very simple system message. I gave just LLM as a judge and just one example rating. I could have added much, much more. I didn't bother because here it's for demo purposes. But then after clicking that, you can see that we go from custom grader with 77% that passed to 95%, just because it was able to take into account all of the results. And so then it's going to suggest a new system message. It might be better, might be worse, but here in this case, it performed better.
Amazing. Okay. And then we see the updated prompt here, right?
Exactly. We see the updated prompt, but you can still go back to the initial prompt that I created before clicking on optimize here.
Nice.
Okay.
Is there like a prompt registry kind of idea? So then I can choose existing prompts that I have tested, let's say.
As far as I'm aware, I don't think we have a prompt registry yet. But yeah, so that was in a nutshell all the new features. But if people want to see a longer demo of how to use it, and especially how to use the Evals platform programmatically, we did another video that we'll link in the show notes.
Amazing. Thanks, Lara.